I'm Libby.
And I'm Tabby. We're here on behalf of Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots to give you some ideas of how to carry out mapping as part of the local environment mapping activity.
We've chosen this area to map because of its variety of plants and animals to be found here.
Before we can start to map out these interesting features, we need a base map. You could download one, but we've decided to make our own one from scratch.
In order to do this, we need a magnetic compass, like this one, which is normally used for navigation, and we need a way of measuring distance.
Compasses can be a bit tricky to use at first, but once you know what all the bits do, they're easy enough to understand. On top of the compass is a rotating needle. This will always point towards magnetic north. Around the needle there is a rotating plastic circle. This can be used for a few different things, but for what we're doing, it's really important to make sure it's lined up with the compass needle, so pointing north. For each point we map, we want to measure the angle between north and the feature from where we're standing. So we're going to use the long edge of the compass to point towards the feature.
To start with, Tabby's going to stand in a known place. In this case, we're going to use this trig point.
Now I'm going to hold up the compass and point it towards the edge of that bank. Without moving the compass, I'm going to line the circle up with the needle. Now if we look around the edge of the circle, there is an angle indicated. That is the angle between north and the edge of the bank. Can you write that down, Libby?
Okay, I'm going to record our measurements as we go along in this table and do it carefully to make sure I don't make any mistakes.
Next we need to know the distance to the edge of the bank. We don't have a trundle wheel and our tape measure is too short, so Libby's going to pace out the distance carefully.
Earlier I measured out how long one of my paces is. For every pair of steps, that represents 1.5 meters of distance. I am going to try and make sure I always use the same length of paces. Now I'm going to walk from the trig point to the corner of the bank and count my paces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25. Tabby?
Yeah?
That's 25 paces!
Okay. So if we times 25 paces by 1.5 metres, that gives us 37.5 metres on the ground. But because our map is scaled down and our scale is 1 centimetre to 5 metres, we will have to divide 37.5 metres by 5, which gives us 7.5 centimetres distance on our map.
And now we'll map some other features. See you shortly. Now we've collected our mapping data, we are going to turn it into a base map. We're going to do this by using an A4 sheet of paper, a protractor and a ruler.
Now we're going to mark our first point. We've placed the paper so that north goes along the short edge of the paper.
Now I'm going to use the protractor to measure the angle the bank was from the north.
We've already calculated the distance from the fixed point to the bank. Now we just need to measure the distance and fill it in. For features like walls and paths, we just need to add a few points along the feature, join the dots and fill in the gaps.
And that's it, we've mapped our first point. We just need to add the rest of the mapping data we've collected and we're done!